Hello guys, I'm happy for today and it's a book launch for Admire Makarichi. I'm very excited as a mother to have a son doing such a good thing, and we believe God's gonna bless him and gonna go more.
It's a pleasure to us as a family to have a child who is so brilliant, equipped with the things of God. He has got passion, he has got a target in his life. So it's our wish as parents for Admire to keep on excelling with the power from our Lord Jesus Christ.
Good day. My name is Daryl Lowe, the provincial chairperson of the Black Management Forum. I'm happy to be here, invited by Admire at his book launch to deliver a speech and talk about the book. I think this is a great gesture from a young man and in lifting our country where we at now and giving hope to the future that lies ahead.
Good day guys, Chislin Trollop here. I'm so excited to be a guest speaker here at the book launch of Admire Makarichi. The importance of association, the importance of your inner circle, and the importance of people you are doing life with. I hope you come to enjoy this day with us and just have a good one. Thank you.
Good day, people. It's so nice to see you all here. What a wonderful day. Auspicious occasion for Admire Makarichi with his book launch. And yes, we're here to associate with what he's associating with. Have a good day. God bless.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Mpisi and I'm one of the presenters. I'm really looking forward to today's event. It's going to be a stunning one. It's the second book launch. Enjoyed the first book. The second one I assume will be even better. So trust that you are as excited as I am to see what transpires today. So sit back, relax and enjoy this wonderful day with us.
Good afternoon. Are you happy? Why are you so quiet? Good afternoon. Have you greeted who's sitting next to you yet? Seriously? Oh, that's great then. I would like to welcome you all to the book launch of Success by Association 2. You are greatly welcome. And I would like to appreciate you all for coming. Firstly and foremost, I would like to give opening remarks. A great man once said, if you want to destroy a black man, it's easy to do that because his people will be willing to help you destroy him. So at the same time, it's easy for a person to succeed when there are people supporting him. So it's a great thing that you are here because this event wouldn't have been successful without you being here. So firstly and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for coming to the event. Okay. So now I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests. So if you are here, would you please just wave your hand so that the people can see you? Okay. So firstly, I'd like to call Sergio Cox so that he can pray before we go on with the program.
Good morning, everyone. Come, let us pray. God, I thank you, Lord, for this awesome occasion, Lord. I know, my God, that this morning it wasn't us that woke ourselves up, my God, but neither the alarm clock, but it was your breath of life. And I come this morning, my God, and I give you all the honor and all the praise. I praise you for who you are and what you mean to us, my God. I thank you that we can know that everything that's happening here is because of you. I pray for every single person because I know that as their faces differ, so our needs differ, my God. I pray that you will be with us and everything that we do right now will give you glory. I pray for every speaker, every person that's going to render an item. Whatever's going to happen here, my God, may it be in your will. I cover every single person under the powerful blood of Jesus Christ, and we give you all the glory. Amen.
Thank you, Sergio Cox. Clap while he's sitting. Okay, so as we go on with the program, I would like to just mention our special guests as we go on. So firstly and foremost, we have Sergio Cox, who was just praying here. Sergio Cox, can you just please wave? Thank you. Okay, we also have our first MC who's going to be speaking in a moment. His name is Mark Kodze. Mark Kodze, are you amongst us? Oh, there is Mark Kodze. Thank you. And we have the Ministry of Sports, Arts and Culture. Ministry, are you here? Okay, thank you. And we also have our second speaker, who is Daryl Lowe. Thank you. And we have our keynote speaker, the one who we are all here for, Mr. Admire Makarichi. And And we have our third speaker who's going to be coming later on during the afternoon, Cheslin Trollip. Sorry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Later on, we're going to be having our fourth speaker, who is Benita George. We have got quite a lot of speakers here, a lot of talent amongst us. We also have Chris Mpisi. Thank you. So now I would like to call, those are some of our important guests. I will be mentioning more of them as they will be coming. So now I would like to call the poet to give us a piece titled, are you amongst us? Can you clap for him?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. The poem I have here, it's called Leadership. It has to do with growth. It speaks of education as a way for us to grow, a way for us to achieve our goals and to achieve success. So for many of you, this is most likely your first experience with me. My name is Tebogo Tato Mabina. I am a blood-washed, born-again Christian who was heavily influenced by Christian rap, hip-hop, and poetry. So I found my creative freedom in poetry. I have one problem though. I'm standing here assuming that all of you will understand my poetry. And right now I'm secretly hoping that every one of you carries a pocket dictionary. Because I'm counting on the virtue of the fact that you are familiar with Admire. Many say that hard work beats talent every time. And with others, it is not so because they can do certain things without even trying. Some people are more artistic and creative, and some are inclined academics. I believe this hall is filled with people who are adequately equipped in business, science, and even mathematics. So let us be diligent and study to show ourselves approved workmen. Equipping us for the future is education's primary purpose. You can ignore me if you want to, but the impending doom and the destruction in our society is prevalent because the state of ignorance and illiteracy is more prevalent. It is a great privilege to be here to see who are the leaders of today. So when tomorrow comes limping in, we know who is to blame. Leaders are a result of dedication to their grind. They are required to rise up and lead from the front instead of from behind. Visionary leadership aims to build and inspire, while radical dictatorships tend to implode and expire. As the sun sets on yesterday's leaders and rises on us in all its glory, it ushers in a new hope as we turn the new page and start a new chapter in our story. So let us heed the wise advice of the old and grey and work hard to create a better future for the children of this day. Thuto ga e hulelwe. You can never outgrow education. And as we climb the ladder of success, let this be our meditation. In closing, I want to leave you with this quote from yours truly. It takes passion, patience, and perseverance to produce perfection. Passion is the uncontrollable desire that burns within us like fire. Patience is the capacity for calm and self-possessed waiting. Perseverance is the steadfast pursuit of an object, being consistently persistent. Production is the process of bringing forth something into existence. Perfection consists of everything good. It is complete and non-deficient. So let God lead us in all things, because He is meticulous and precise. Otherwise, in the pursuit of our goals, our ambition and aspirations, you will always be caught off sight. Grace and peace.
Wow, what a great piece. What a great piece, what a great piece. Clap for him, please. Clap for him, clap for him, clap for him, clap for him. Wow, 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 wow. It's almost like he has read a part of the book already. It's almost like you know what's in the book. So I'd like to add on what he was saying. Education is very vital. People have developed a mindset that leads them to think that education is just getting certification or having a piece of paper that's written maybe carpenter or something. And yet education is not certification. Education is what remains after you have achieved your certification. So you'd find that in Africa, we have a lot of people, especially youth, who are suffering because they think that if you want to succeed, you need to get certification and be employed somewhere. In matter of fact, you need to have like information on a trade that you want to do. Say you want to be a carpenter. If you can learn to be a carpenter, try to employ yourself. Try to create the jobs that you want from other people. What a great piece. And that's actually quite an insight of some of the stuff that is in the book actually. It's like he read the book, he knows what's in the book. Okay, thank you one more time, Title. Can you please clap for him, please? Okay, I'd like to tell you that the program is going on as planned. So at this moment, I'd like to call Sergio once more so that we can go on with the program. Can you please clap for him as he's coming?
Tatena, just stand with me just for 1 second. I think that we can give this man a round of applause for what he did this morning. Thank you for starting off the program for us, and I know it's going to be a good program. Have a blessed day. Thanks, Tatena. Yes. So I'm not going to waste your time, but what I want to mention is there are some principles that is part of Admire's ideology, and that is gratitude, vision, discipline, accountability, consistency, learning, and action. So I want you to focus on that for this afternoon that we're going to spend together today. And while watching this video play, just have that in the back of your mind.
Born to impact lives and change the spaces he enters into. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the biography of Admire Makarichi. Admire has focused his life and everything he does to be based and centered on growth. Born and bred in the neighboring country of Zimbabwe in Harare on the 1st of July 1995, he is a son to Pastor Solomon and Miriam Makarichi. He is the Benjamin in a family of 3. He studied his primary school in Masingo, where he then decided to move to the city of gold, the city of Johannesburg in South Africa in 2009. A man of numerous talents, he became a pianist and developed the love for music, so he has been quite around. He began to impact life at an early age as a student leader as well as inspiring the young. He finished his high school after studying sciences with distinctions. He chose to start a business over university, birthed Maya Transport and Logistics through shuttling business. Believe you me, the business grew within a short space of time and began to employ the locals. In his own words, he says,
"My mandate is to impact lives and to stimulate growth within the spaces I enter."
Having been within the speaking circuit from a very young age, Admire is a renowned public speaker who has been nominated for various awards. He believes that he was born to deal with the cause of various issues presented by life. What makes Admire stand out is his enthusiasm and friendly approach in interacting with his audience. His primary objective is to elevate his audience's perception of themselves, knowing that when this is achieved, then his audience will grow to a level of self-sustenance, enabling them to rise above mediocrity. At the heart of it all, Admire is driven by his love for humanity and passion for growth. Admire has shared a stage with the likes of His Excellency, Ambassador of Zimbabwe Isaac Moyo, Douglas Kruger, Busi Siloshe, Andrew Tsuro, Christian Mpisi, and many other well-renowned speakers. He has been a guest speaker on Havoy FM, Revival FM, Tembisa FM, and many other radio stations, speaking the voice of inspiration. Currently, Admire receives invites from all around the country and the international community to address and speak to audience of different backgrounds and economic status. Mainly, he gets invited to private companies, prisons, schools, colleges, and universities to share his life-altering insights. He receives positive feedback from those who attend his talks on a regular basis. Being a person of principles and value he is, Admire believes in punctuality, excellence, professionalism, creativity, and vision. Some of his achievements are, but not limited to, started his first business at 19, published a book, launched 100% fruit juice board, has been recognized by the Zimbabwean ambassadors to South Africa, been featured on several radio interviews, co-hosted a TV show, has been published in 7 newspapers, has been featured in several magazine articles, nominated for the Zimbabwe Excellence Award, a constant motivational speaker at Careline addressing patients who suffer from psychiatric issue, e.g., depression, alcohol, and substance abuse. In his own words, he says, "When young people are not employed, they do not acquire skills and they will become unemployable in the future." Africa has plus 1.2 billion people, with 60% being the youth and 40% are unemployed. I don't read the African problem as laziness in youth, but old people are stuck in old ways, not wanting to rethink and restructure our society to fit into the modern day technology. Europe has a problem with youth not maximizing their opportunities, whereas South Africa has youth not being given the opportunity. Remember, you cannot fight if you do not know where the fight is. Africa is in need of a skills revolution where the skills will be turned into business. We are now living in a society where what is logical is not practical. What is practical is not right. What is right is not ethical. What is ethical is not what is desired, but what is desired takes us back to not being logical. For bookings and inquiry, you can visit the website at www.admiremakarichi.com, or you can contact 074 322 5871 or 087 510 4288. For more information, you can contact those numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paseka Mere Kopane.
I think we can do better than that, people. Yo. What caught my eye was the newspaper article that said you can't help but admire him. Did you see that? Well done, Admire, well done. I know there's so much more lying ahead just with the person that you are. And I feel so blessed to just know you. And I know that there's something so great and so profound inside of you. You know, the first day I met Admire was a few months ago. And the first day I met him, he spoke about this book launch. And I want to tell you that he spoke about it exactly the way it's taking place right now. You know, and his words carried so much weight. We prayed about it for so long, and you are part of the dream today. So I want to say thank you to everyone that is here. I want to really welcome you with a true welcome to say that you are part of a dream that is busy manifesting in Admire's life. And today, truly, you know, we were at a seminar last night, and myself and Benita and Sias, and also a book talk that we had. I said this is a weekend of books. So what we were speaking about was that everybody can give someone a sandwich, but it takes a specific person to create a feast. And I think that Admire really created a feast for us today. And that is not just the food, people. That is the speakers that's coming up as well. So you're going to have an awesome afternoon with all of us here, you know. And don't be scared to associate. The name of the book is Success by Association. So there is success in association. So let us associate today with the people that Admire associates himself with. And but just enjoy it. Sit back, relax. Know that there's a lot coming up, a lot to learn and a lot to educate, but also a lot to just relax and say, this is my time with Admire. So I want to not spend any more time, but I want to call up this speaker. It's also a great friend of mine and Admire, and his name is Mr. Mark Kotze. So mark my words, you're going to have a good time with Mr. Mark Kotze. Mark Kotze, come to the front. I'm not going to say what he's going to do, he's just going to do it. Let's give a bit of round of applause. Come on, people, Mr. Mark Kotze.
Yeah, mark my words, eh? Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hi, everybody, welcome. I'm glad you guys made it. I'm just not sure whether you are a bit sad because you might have missed somebody's funeral or you should have been somewhere else or stuff. Are you guys glad you are here? Yes. Can you guys please act glad that you are here? You see, it's just this gentleman, the guy with the white suit, the lady over here next to the camera guy might make it. Okay. I'm honored to be here. First of all, thank you for the invitation, my friend. Admire. I admire you for inviting me. And then I have to make an apology. I need to leave a little bit early. Even my Saturdays are packed. You guys won't believe this morning. On Saturdays I have prison ministry. So on a Saturday morning, that's the first part that I do. I go to juvenile sections and we do prison ministry, and then I have to rush over here and rush over somewhere else as well. But that's because of the success of association. So I need to associate myself, and I'm not reading my speech here. It's just I'm focusing on this thing. I need to associate with people that are willing to have your association. And the success that I've achieved because of association, I now need to teach our younger generation who think that the world has forgotten them, that they are worthy of association and to reach success as well. The first thing that I want to mention, aside from the apology to my fellow speakers, please, if I am not here when you are up here, please forgive me. I'm sure I'm going to see the video later on that I will most definitely get from Admire if I have to leave early. But for success to happen like Admire has demonstrated, I think what he does not necessarily always readily mention is the fact that he has associated with himself first. Get intact and get to understand your gifts and your talents. When I get on stage and I introduce people in the following manner: hi, my name is Mark Anthony Rowan Kotze. M-A-R-K spells Mark, because I believe that whatever I do, wherever I go, whatever I say, whoever I meet and encounter, I have the privilege to leave my mark. That is an association with who I am. I've accepted the fact that this is who I am. This is my association that I bring on board. And with this understanding, I associate with other people. There's a Spanish proverb that says, "Gila diré quen cuandas, gila diré quen res." Tell me who you walk with, and I will tell you who you are. If we walk together, people will automatically assume that we are associates. And the same way with, most probably, let me make an example with the people that I visit on a Saturday morning, the youngsters. I cannot stop telling them how important it is to choose carefully. Because who you let into your space, you have given free rein to either feed you or feed off of you. Association is very important. And aside from the natural, I always specifically, and I know he comes from the same point of view, that I associate with the people that's, like his book describes, that stands for the same thing I stand for, that values the same things I value. I can, for instance, not want to be a recognized motivational speaker, and I sit in the company of people that murmur and moan and complain the entire day, because that's going to spill out onto your platform. Success, and I think your second name should have been Success. After watching, because I thought I knew all of this, and this morning it reminds me that you push, you persevere, you pursue, and you demonstrate association. What is association? You know, when somebody goes in a specific direction, and you willingly make a choice to align yourself with that person's direction. But, however, you have got to know almost every single detail of that person's intent. Because when somebody is heading to success, a lot of people can be successful, but how am I going to be successful in life? And because of what is very important. We have successful drug dealers in our neighborhoods. We have successful shopping queens. We have successful corrupt elements in society. So you've got to understand the background is important. The association is going to matter most when that person's success is demonstrated in your life. In other words, if, for instance, you associate yourself with the right person with the wrong motive, it's going to show eventually. You know, life is weird. It has a way of catching up on you. And I have learned in my journey. Now, I know there might be, on this side, I see there's a couple of white people, so they don't know me. So, morning gentlemen, how are you? That's the part of me that I normally bring out. I don't know if it's the light or the shirts that you're wearing that makes you look white. I can't see properly. But for those of you who know me, would understand the importance of what he is saying. And can I mention that? And I'm sure, can I mention why I became who I am? Is it okay with you? Because it's important that you understand why it is important for me that you understand that you need to associate with the right people for you to make your dream work in a setup like the Northern Cape where we are at. Because you see, when people come up thinking, believing, trusting, having faith, and stepping out of their comfort zone like he does, she does, they do, and most probably you following soon, they feel intimidated because the Northern Cape does not have a conducive environment for people who believe in themselves. Let alone getting other people to believe in you. That's unfortunate. And that's why I like this kind of thing. We should go to these kind of things more and more. How confident are you to step out of your humble beginning, where you are currently at, to say, I am going to support somebody who's on his way to success? How confident? These chairs might be empty because they lack confidence. To be here and say he is a dreamer, let me associate and learn to dream like he is. I came from a background now, by this, can I just check with you guys quickly? Who knows my story? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's almost half of that, so I can go, I can say. My future is bright, guys. These lights are too bright. After becoming what's known as the Northern Cape's first ever bank robber. Yeah. Yo, your eyes, man, they're gonna pop out, eh? They're gonna pop out, you're gonna hurt yourself. I had no proper association that could guarantee success when I was younger. There was nobody I associated with while growing up that would say to me, one day you can become this and that and that. Let me teach you. Through education and believing in yourself, you could become this. So I fell for the first joke that came around. And yes, we ended up doing this, and I was sentenced to so long in prison and whatever. And here I am coming out of, and now people does not want to associate. Little did they know, and this is always something that I do when I go to high schools and stuff like that. I blow my nose in a piece of tissue, pretending that I am doing that, and I fold it up, and then I ask a learner, could you please keep this for me, please, while I'm busy? Keep it. I didn't even blow my nose when So, inside, when eventually, nobody wants to, nobody's like, please, I don't want to be associated with stuff like that. I don't want to, no, get it off me. And eventually, when I get to the place where I demonstrate to them who I am, you know, the publisher, the public speaker, the comedian, the radio talk shows, the breakfast shows, blah, 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 blah. Because that's what people want to see. We want to be associated, because of success, with this kind. Now, for you to associate, you first have to discover. We formed a friendship a while ago because I discovered something in him. He discovered something in me. Now the same way with this tissue, eventually I tell the learner, open up the tissue because I feel something coming, you know, excuse me. No, sorry, excuse me. And then when the grossness about it, you know, reality strikes, when they realize that something might pop out. And unfolding this thing, they discover that there's a neatly, tiny, folded up 100 Rand note. And the ones who did not want to make the association realizes that they have missed the opportunity. And kids in school, when they miss 100 Rand, they want to wait again. Yes! So that's why I'm saying it is important that when you are heading to success, investigate this association and hit on it perfectly. We hit it off just like that. We hit it off just like that. We have been hitting it off just like that. Everywhere we go and we meet. You know why? Because we share the exact same sentiment. That we must believe so much in what we do, so that others can discover what is in the tissue. Success by association. It starts with people like yourself. The fact that you got up and you want to learn more from what he has written about, so that you too can associate. It's fine to fight. Everybody says fight for what you want. Fight, Warren, fight. But you know what? You head to the enemy lines on your own and you'll be taken out sooner than you think. But when we associate and surround ourselves with people that want to fight for the same thing, it's going to happen. And people in Kimberley need to wake up like that. to this. People in the Northern Cape need to wake up to this. Because we are so desperate to achieve the little we think is out there, forgetting that more possibilities exist, that we just want to keep it here for ourselves and not support the brother. Not go and get the back of the sister. Association by success happens wherever we go, whenever we go, simply because we go.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I usually say when something is so good, we give it at least 30-second clap. There we go, there we go. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, that's the claps we want today. Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah. Yes, so inspiring. It makes me think of admire for inviting you. Because it's so inspiring. I'm becoming a poet here, off the head. But guys, yes, thank you so much, Mark. I really felt inspired, and I still feel inspired. And I know it's going to inspire me for a while still. But we have got people that made this possible as well, for Mark to come and speak today, for Admire's book launch to take place, and that's our sponsors. And we want to give a chance for sports, arts and culture. They are here, they're going to come and say something to the crowd and to the people, and just for being here and what they think of Admire and his book. So the representative of sports, arts and culture is going to come to the fore for us. And we're just going to give them a time to just come and say something. And also just thank them. Thank them for the contribution towards this book launch. Let's give sports, arts and culture a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Wow, good afternoon. My name is Itumeleng Modise. I must mention that it is not an easy task to speak after Mark Golze. So maybe admire. Let me also admire you, but next time, please. Let me speak, or let us speak before Mark. But being as it is, we are glad that we are here as Department Sports, Arts and Culture. I must just submit an apology for my manager, Mr. Vincent Mitzi, who is the manager of the Provincial Library Services. He got other issues that came up also. Now he has to be somewhere. So, but I'm here, Mark, and I'm here, Admire. What I must mention is that with this book launch, normally people would come and request assistance. They would come a week before or 2 weeks before. But with Admire, he came in January. So it was already saying to us that we've got something, we've got a gem here. So we need to work together and associate with Admire. So we are glad. But from the Provincial Library Services, we'd like to say that we do support book launches. We would like to work with upcoming writers and poets also. My brother is also a poet. We are working with upcoming poets and writers. So we are here, we are not lost. It is part of our mandate to support Admire. So we are saying that it should not end here. Admire should not end here. Our doors are open. At least you can call me. You call us, we WhatsApp, we speak, we associate. Yesterday, I must just mention, yesterday we had a book club competition in Warrington Library. And I must mention that English competition for reading. They were reading out of the book of Mark Golze, Arrested with or without the right to remain silent. So they were reading from that book. There's one line that they were reading. It says somewhere there you were in a car with the father heading towards a town. It was the first time that we were going home, and it seems that the town, the dog that you dear Mark. Now Mark was saying to the father, please let us just go home. So I captured that one line, and when you were speaking here, I would remember that child that was reading that line, and I'd say to you, thank you, Mark. And we are saying to you, Admire, thank you. We are looking forward to having this book of Admire also. It must also be in the libraries, and we want kids to read from it also. With those words, I'd like to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sports, Arts and Culture, for associating with us and with Admire. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. I just saw something, and a lady named Theresa Gray writes, one must always be careful of the books and what we read inside of them, for words has the power to change us. Sure. Words has the power to change us. So I know that that book and what's written inside Admire is going to change people's lives. And we're going to read it word for word, and I know something good and awesome will come from it. So without any ado, we have more words coming up, and that's from Mr. Darrell Lowe. I want us to give Mr. Darrell Lowe an awesome, come on, 15 seconds at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lowe. I see he's also scared of the lights.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity to thank Admire for the invite. One is really honored. I'm not a motivational speaker like Mark, so please, he has set the standard. Will not compete with your space chief. I was saying to him, I'm looking for inspiration from him, because before, whilst I was seated there, I received a call on the passing of a childhood friend, so it shook me a bit. But I told him, it's life. It's part of what we go through in life. Colleagues, we only had one meeting with Admire. It was for breakfast at Spur. And it was supposed to have been a meeting of only 30 minutes, but I think it went to 2 hours. And he talked so much about his father and the role that his father played in his life and in encouraging him. And you could see where he is from the family setting, and where he wants to, because he's well cultivated. And thank you, sir, for that. I asked him again, Chief, how do you want the speech? Can you give guidance? He said, no, just speak whatever is in your mind. And thanks for that permission, and I promise I will not abuse that platform. The topic of success and association, colleagues have got many other angles that we need to look into. I've gone through his books, and like Mark said, rightly so, sometimes we associate success with material gain. And that has got a way of sending the wrong message, especially because in your business dealings, in being successful, was there a level of integrity involved, credibility, trustworthiness, and all of those things. So we should not use the word success loosely, but we should also be able to set what it means for us, not necessarily allow, because society likes setting certain standards that we have to live up to, because if you don't reach it, then you start thinking that you're not successful. So we need to look into all of these aspects of success, how do we define success, and so on. And maybe if I have to share a little bit of what happened to me about 1 year ago, That's when I started to learn the importance of networking, and by therefore meaning associating as well. My late uncle had a bookstore, Uhuru Books and Stationery. We were in operation since 1998. So we joined an organization called National Office Products of South Africa, NOPSA. So they had annual conferences, and the conference was in Somerset West. I think it was 99 or 2000. So we went there. It was at the time when opportunities were opened up for black business. But on the other side, the white business was feeling that we just coming to take what has been the years without much effort, that time of the preferential procurement. So we also went there to fight for our space on the table so that we can also participate in the economy. So you can understand the mood and the setting was very tense. We want to be part of the economy. The other guys, the white business, were thinking that we just want to come up and take. So at breakfast, it was at Somerset West in the Western Cape. We went for breakfast. It was so full, you had to look for space to sit. So I ended up sitting on the table with an elderly white couple and one young white guy on the table. I asked to sit, they allowed me. Because time was already gone, one was only focusing on finishing to eat so that one can be on time for the conference. I did not engage or follow their conversation and so on. It so happens that the keynote speaker to be delivered was a young man at that time who was seated at my table with the elderly couple, and it was none other than Mark Shuttleworth. That time is too late to go and try to get out of the mindset that we came to the event with. And he was going to catch a flight because he was going abroad at that time. So sometimes when we come to events like this, it's good to network, get to know who the next person is, because you never know. You will never be successful alone. You need to network. I've learned the hard way, and ever since then I make sure I know who I'm talking to and whatever and so on. So I just thought I should share that so that you don't fall in the same trap that we felt in because of the dynamics of that time. So association is important, colleagues, and it's not a once-off thing. We continuously, and I'm happy that Mark also raised the issue that we don't create such platforms on a regular basis so that we can also get to inspire other people, because sometimes you sit in your corner and you think that you are crazy, and because there's no enablement within our environment, but we really need to work on that aspect. Colleagues, the other aspect I want to talk to is about leadership. Look where our country drifted for the past 9-10 years because of lack of ethical leadership. So leadership is not only upon elected officials. For oneself, leadership starts with self-mastery, in associating with yourself, like Mark said. You need to know who you are, what are your capabilities, and what do you need to improve on so that you can be able to also build yourself to be able to influence other people. And leadership is not only about a position or title. Leadership is about a developmental agenda of developing other leaders and not creating followers. Because as it is, everyone is there for himself or herself. We are not lifting as we rise, like Ntatema Mohale is saying, lift as you rise. Because that's one other thing we are not doing as a society. We are not lifting,
as we rise. We're just concentrating on our own personal agenda. So that needs to change, colleagues. As we go up, we need to make sure that we lift other colleagues, we create an enabling environment and so on. I mentioned integrity, credibility, hope, and truthfulness. I wanted to leave the province, to be quite honest. I left government in 2017. I could not see enablement. Up until then, the colleagues said, we want you to lead us at the Black Management Forum. I agreed and stayed, and I'm not regretting. And I'm happy that so far so good with the new premier. There is hope that has been created towards a modern, successful, growing province. And we want to support that. I pledge from our side, and we ask other colleagues to also rally behind him in achieving this, because he will not do it alone. We need to be active citizens, because most of the time we are just armchair critics. We just sit there and say we have elected you so, and they don't always have the solutions. As active citizens, that's the role we need to play as professionals and any other part of society in making sure that we are part of the change we want to see happen. It will not happen on its own. One topic that I hold close to my heart, and because of the upbringing within the Black Management Forum, it's transformation. Transformation is imperative. We cannot continue in this environment as is. We need to, and when we talk transformation, we're not just talking race. We keep on talking about women empowerment, but to be quite honest, that's just lip service. And let us probably move beyond empowerment, because the power stays with the empowerer. Let us look towards women emancipation. That is very important, because I bet you most of you did not know about the Office of the Public Protector up until Tulima Donsela came to that office. There were other leaders, male leaders, that failed dismally. So why are we still questioning the ability of women in this country and all over the world? We seriously need, in other words, it means we doubt our mothers as well for having raised us to what we are and so on. So let us really make sure that we tackle that issue, and we challenge, because obviously in certain other aspects it has led to the rise in domestic violence, because women empowerment is challenging the structure of the culture and all of that. Let us create topics, let us debate these things and find solutions. The other linked to Left As You Rise is each and every one of us, we need to ask ourselves questions. What role are we playing within society? Even at your family, I had an argument with, we can say it's an older brother, he's a cousin of mine. You know, whenever there's a function in the family and say, hey, lady, and whatever, and those talks and whatever. And then I told him, well, on the basis of your age and DNA, I accord you that respect, but you have not played a meaningful role in guiding me throughout the life challenges. So on that part, I will not continue to call you. And he was shocked. And I said, it's time that we stand up as uncles, as whatever, and fight all of this cash, especially with the abuse of children and women. We cannot just sit back and watch things happen and so on. So let us also do self-introspection on what it is that we are doing as a family member, as a person in society and so on. And I bet you most of us as professionals, none of us are even giving back to schools within the township to serve on their SGPs and transfer some skills and so on, because most of the people there are voted there on populist vote, and we're not even doing anything to build them so that we left as we rise. The poem also touched on an issue of ignorance. I like that you brought that up. because I think we are very ignorant on a whole lot of issues. That goes back again to active citizenry. Let us wake up, colleagues, and let us make our country what we want it to be. I don't want to waste your time. Those were just my thoughts. And in closing, I was saying to Belinda, when Mark said, I admire you, he stole my line. I shouldn't have been typing next to him. So we admire your courage and continue to inspire. You see the rhyme in admire, inspire, all of the nice words that rhymes together with that, and lift as you rise. And all of the best with your future endeavors. Thank you.
I love a speaker that can make me think. And really, Mr. Lowe, thank you. You made us think of what's happening around us. You know, and how we must contribute as part of society. You know, because there's a reason why you are there. Someone else could have been there, but you there. So thank you, Mr. Lowe, for just reminding us that we are part of society and we need to make a difference. I think we can give Mr. Lowe a 30-second clap for that. Thank you, Mr. Lowe. Daryl. I'm going to challenge all of you that by starting off, you will still call each other on the surname, but by the end of this day, you're going to call each other on the first names. Because we need to associate. Yeah. We need to associate. We need to associate. So, that's the importance of this day, is that we should be networking. I think that's what Daryl kicked off with. He said, networking is so important. Sitting next to Mr. Shuttleworth, not knowing, and not knowing. You know, I loved for years next to his uncle, you know, in Halia. And what a profound man he is, you know. Okay, he passed on. I think 2 years ago, so he was I think he was one of the first mayors of Kimberley, Mr. Shuttleworth. And what a nice man to meet and speak with. You know, old man, he was in his 90s already. But it was always good to just speak to him and even just to greet him when he passed my house, you know, because he always had such an awesome smile, Mr. Shuttleworth. But the thing is, networking is the importance of today. So we want you guys to network, we want everybody to network, but because of that, we're going to call upon the person that has brought us all together to network. And this guy loves to speak. So we had to break up his speech 3 times. No, we had to break up his speech 3 times, and I think you know who it is, because you have a program in front of you. This is the man why we are here for in the first place, and this is Mr. Makarichi. I call him Admire. He says he doesn't have a second name, but I said his name is Talk, 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 and Talk. And we're going to call to the fore and to the stage Admire Makarichi for his first part of his book talk. Come on, let's give him a round of applause. And I want him to also announce a couple of things of his book while he had his book and his audio books with him. Thank you, Admire. Let's give him another round of applause. Thanks, sir.
Wow. I must say I am honored to be able to speak while you listen. Of course, the majority of you might already know that talking is part of what I do. But there's one thing I want to draw to your attention this morning before I thank you for coming, that I find quite interesting and that keeps me motivated day in, day out. A famous producer, entrepreneur, speaker, you name it, Tyler Perry, I believe we all know him, right? Tyler Perry said in one of his clips, which I first criticized a single thing on the quality that he used on the camera that he recorded it with. It was blurry, and considering that he's got a company that produces movies, the quality of acrimony, the quality of Tyler Perry's collections, you know them. And he decides to post a video on social media, on YouTube, paid to boost its views, but he shot it with a cell phone which was not the best cell phone he could get. But now, what I learned and what I took from that video is, it's not about the quality that is taken the video with. It's the quality of the content. So, in this video, he spoke about what has never been broadcasted on TV, and he said a lot of interviews that he has, a lot of shows he speaks at, people always cut that part out. And he wanted to get it aired out for people to hear about it. And in quoting his words, he said, and I quote, "I have done a lot of things. I have tried a lot of times to put together shows, events. Sometimes 2 people would come when I was expecting 1,000, paid a lot of expenses with not even enough sponsorship to cover for it. But there's one thing that I take home, which I even take from this day onwards. He never stopped. He kept pushing event after event, event after event. At times he said he would get people, tell them that, look, we're going to get you 500 people in the room. Come and market your product. And the audience response wouldn't be that number. But that didn't stop him to go back to the same person and say, look, I know last time we said we were doing this. I know I called you and I said we're expecting a certain number and it didn't come. But guess what? We're doing this again in September. And I mean it. We're launching another book in September and I'm going to have all my speakers, whether they want or not. I'm going to have them. That's part of the influence I have on associating with them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm quite happy that you all came. Special thanks to Mr. Lagrange, who happens to be my boss. Ladies and gentlemen, just a round of applause. I love this man. And Ignatius, one of my colleagues, and my parents. Maybe you could just come up front, let's take a picture and let them see you. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I am who I am today because of them. So I think in as much as it is about me, it is about them. In as much as they are I am a happy person, I think they are happier than I am today. Please don't hesitate to clap your hands. The sound that comes out when you join your right and your left hand is what we want to hear. Thank you so much. Allow me to introduce you to my parents. And I think one thing I'm going to say while they're still here before they go is I've learned what I would call one of the biggest lessons from them. Ever since I was a child, I hear people say relationships, marriages has got issues, but ever since I was a child, I never got to a point where I felt or as a child picture a divorce. And that has inspired me that I'll never get married if I'm not ready. Because I wouldn't want to answer the question when they say you're divorced, who are you taking after? So, ladies and gentlemen, as they are going back to sit, I just wanted to display the caliber of parents I take after and thank them for being here. They could have been anywhere else. It's not mandatory for them to come, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, I'm not going to be here for long, as you heard that I talk a lot. Well, I won't say no, but I enjoy it. And here's the reason why I enjoy it. I decided to use this particular session considering the busy schedules and the hypermanic schedules that my colleagues here have. I decided to take this time to speak about them one by one and get an opportunity to also take photos with them before they leave. So I'm going to start with Mark. As I mentioned your name, I'm going to ask you to come and stand right here with me. And I don't know if somebody's got a camera to take photos for me on this, because this is part of history. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mark Kotze. So I met Mark Kotze the first time at Revival FM when I was finishing my show. He was coming in to do his interview. I was finishing my interview. He was coming for his interview, right? But one thing I love is when I planned the launch, I had a certain direction I was taking. And Mark spoke to me and said, look, I think you should try and do it this way. And Mark, what you coached me, in the vernacular language they call it coaching, what do you think?
Is this an interview?
I'm trying to display something that I'm going to explain to you guys why.
Actually, you know what? This is a demonstration of what came out of our talk, that you have you've created an environment for people to network and associate. So yeah, this is it.
Thank you. My point here being, Mark gave me an input when I went to ask for his opinion. A lot of young people, some sitting here, fail to get to do what they want to do because we go to people like Mark and we ask for his input. And we have two problems. It's either we do what Mark said we must do, not because that is what is right for us. So, if I was going to launch this book, not at Garden Court, not inviting you guys the way we did, Mark was not going to feel bad. Being a mentor to somebody doesn't mean when you tell someone to do something and they don't do it, you can't continue to mentor them. So, can I call you tomorrow morning or Monday morning for another session?
Make it Tuesday. I'm booked until Monday evening.
He didn't say no. That's something that I want you guys to learn. So if you, thank you so much, Mark. But my point is, if you go for advice to somebody, it doesn't mean that if they say do this, you specifically have to do exactly that. There's a saying that I took from my business advisor. His name is Mr. Samuel Tayengwa. He says, we milk from many cows, but we make our own butter. So, in as much as he gives me his opinions, I need to go back to my drawing board and say, what is my vision? What is my goal? What was the thing I said I wanted to do? Is it in line with what Mark is saying? Part of what association is, you meet two types of people that you associate with. Or rather, when you associate with somebody, there are two attributes to look out for. The first thing is, it's either he or she is benefiting from you, or you are benefiting from them. So if Mark is benefiting from me, he's going to try and make it a point that I do what he wants me to do for him to benefit. But the question is it a two-way or is it a one-way? In my second book that we did, I think Tatenda, if you ask him, we did it in a bit of a very short space of time, which I titled Success by Association the Second. There's a part where we speak about how when you associate yourself, you need to be able to, or let me say to people who are in business specifically, and to those who are employees, who are still in businesses, you need to look at the company you are working with. This is in the book, and it says, is your business a highway where drivers meet with chaotic events? You meet people who are drunk, you meet people who are advanced in driving, and you meet learners. Those are chaotic events that keep you alert, they keep your business active, there's movement, people grow. Or is your business a parking lot where people come, switch off the car and pull the handbrake? So that's part of what I want you to take when you go. Go back and look at wherever you spend your time in trying to put food on your table, which is a place of work, whether it's a stage like me, Mark, and my colleagues here, or you are just in a parking lot. Are you growing where you are? Or you're not? The reason why I told you guys I love my boss is because when he gave me an offer, I never pictured myself working for somebody, but he gave me an offer that allows me to talk. Yes, and that's part of what I love. So, let me move on to let me talk about Darrow. Please, if you don't mind, you may come and join me on the stage. I'll be brief about it. I also met Mr. Darrow, as he mentioned, that we had a meeting at Spur, and we thought it was going to be like a 30-minute session, a gentleman's conversation. Just talking about, say, how are you? My name's Admire, this is what I'm having in mind, and blah, blah, blah. But we ended up realizing that the content and the notion that we are for kind of carries the same meaning and the same value. And I'm still going to ask the same question. If I call you again and ask you on Monday to say, I want us to have breakfast, knowing that I talk a lot, are you going to say yes or no?
Look, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. Some people like also saying I talk too much, but I'm not your platform kind of person. I'm your behind the scene kind of guy. So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for him as he's taking his seat. The reason why I say that is because look at the caliber of people I'm associating myself with. It's not only about being able to take and ask them to come and speak here. No, it's about the personal relationship that you build. If I can still call him after my event, that means there's something more than just an event. So my question is, the people you aspire to be like, the people you work with, the people who motivate you, who inspire you, do you have a relationship with them to call them again anytime and speak to them about anything or not? I met a very popular person. I'm not going to say his name because of critics and stuff that happens around him. But he said this to me, which I took home. There's a difference in calling, for instance, Mr. Lagrange's office, or let me say calling his personal cell, and then he answers by saying, hello, when it's my number that he can see, he has my number that it's me. And he says, hello, how are you? And for him to answer and say, hi, Admire, there already is a difference of a relationship that you have. So we need to aspire and grow to develop associations and associates who speak to us on a personal level. Let us add a personal touch onto our relationships with people. And I believe if you ask the speakers that are here, they'll tell you that in as much as I'm not really that good in communicating, but I really try to stay updated and let them know that, look, I said I was going to do this, but I didn't manage to do it. So my question to you is, are you doing the same? How many people in this room? Because what I can tell you is this room is filled with people who can change lives. People who can give you what you need. The biggest problem that I actually identified, not only in Kimberley, but in the majority of provinces in South Africa, is that we always have people who have solutions to our problems around us. But because we're ignorant, we do not know that. We go to events, we sit with the people we came with, which is quite funny. You know that person. And that's a call. If you're sitting with someone you came with, please move. But anyway, my point is, success is by association. There also is failure by association. So I'm going to talk about Chris. Oh, you guys, you really don't know Chris the way I do. Chris he's a really cool guy. And Chris, how are you? Use that line. Don't kill my vibe.
Every day, every way, life's getting better and better.
Did you hear that? Every day, every way, life is getting better and better. And what I like about that is, every time I give Chris a phone call, every time I text Chris, every time I meet with Chris, he always say that to me. And this is what I'm taking from him. Be consistent. I won't lie to you guys. I might have done, I know there are certain things that I might have done which Chris could say he didn't do. But he inspires me when it comes to consistency. Call him, text him, meet him in person. And for that, I appreciate you and I respect you for that. It's something that I take home. So my point why I brought him is, I also want you to take it home. Be consistent in what you do. Organizing events, cooking, whatever, singing, whatever you do, just be consistent. Right, Chris? Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. I mean, look, it's my day. I can literally just, you understand? But anyway, let me talk about the champ. And the champ is Cheslin Trollop. As he's coming here, I mean, what I like about him is me and him, I wanted that Afrikaans way, you know, that says we almost the same, JK, you understand me? We almost the same in terms of age, but he carries grace and an anointing, and he's a pastor, and that differentiates me and him. So one other thing that I want you to learn is that, I know I'm not perfect at this, champ, but I really want to stop calling him champ and start calling him pastor for the anointing that he has. And this happens with us at workplaces. We get so comfortable, and even other places, we get so comfortable we forget the difference between the men of God and the sheep that the man of God has to shepherd. So that's part of where our blessings get blocked at times, right? You're going to hear about this when he speaks. And I'm not going to miss his session by touching on what I'm touching right now, because I can feel that he's literally saying, hey, champ, take it easy. But thank you so much for agreeing. But now the question is, okay, I didn't ask this to Chris because he's never going to say no. He loves talking like me. But now, if I call you, what are you going to say if I say, let's have coffee on Monday at your favorite mug and bean? On you.
On me. I'd say, seeing you called me, it's got to be on you. But sure, let's go.
So now, I just wanted to show you, can you see the relationship I'm having with them? They are my distinguished guests for this event, but I have a personal engagement. We're not faking this. This is real, guys. This is literally real. Yeah, he sent me a text and said he wants me to start playing piano for him, you know? And that's more personal for me. So I feel like if we continue to give ourselves time and allowing people to touch onto the things that we want them to help us with, we will grow. Thank you so much for being a speaker on my event. Let me save the best for the last. Let me explain that part while she's coming. I'm not saying the best in terms of everybody. She might be, but I'm referring to the fact that isn't it just unique that she's the only lady? Wow. Yeah. So, wow, she's a blessing. I don't know where to start, guys. But I met Benita through her sister, and ever since I met her, I feel like I know her more than her sister. And thank you so much. She is one of the busiest ladies, trust me. But she took time to be here, and I appreciate it. I actually wanted to drop a tear, but it means a lot for me to be here with you. She could have been anywhere else, you know. She didn't drop me last minute like what other people do. But she's one thing that she's teaching me that she doesn't know. No matter how busy you get, always make time for what you say you're going to make time for. And you're going to hear, she's going to speak just now. And thank you so much. And I appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. And the question is, no, obviously. So if I call you, I'm going to come to Berkeley, of course.
The first thing that he says is coming to where I'm at. That's a yes. The second thing, it's when.
I'll answer that as she's taking a sit. I want to show you what I was trying to demonstrate. I know her schedules. I need her more than she needs me for now. For now, Benita. My network is growing, eh? I'm going to get busy too. But my point is, I know she's busy. So you have people that you want to meet with. You have people that you want to learn from. Now they must adapt to your schedules. I don't think so. I have to be comfortable to know that she's busy. So let me drive to Berkeley and meet with her in Berkeley. When? Let me try and find when are you available. Because she sticks to what she makes time for. If she says she's going to do it, she's going to do it. There are times I told her I'll call you and I forgot and she was calling me and I was like, ah. But anyway, I appreciate it. Let me not do what Sage said I do, talk a lot. What we did is where's Legend? I want to show you someone. Legend. Oh, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this gentleman. He is the reason why I have these 2 audiobooks. So we have upgraded and we understood that people like Benita, they do read, but they're busy. Sometimes they're on flights, they're driving, and they don't have time. I mean, if I'm to tell you, Singatwa here doesn't have time to really sit down and do a lot of stuff, but she drives a lot. And she wants to support my work, right? And she doesn't want to kill my vibe by not buying my book, but chances are she's not going to have enough time to read it. So technology is moving. Is your business moving as technology is moving? Mine is doing. We've upgraded with audiobooks and we are going live on iTunes, on all platforms that you can buy this stuff from. And it's before people like you. And I know by saying that you actually have to take two. So that's what Uncle Seji wanted me to inform you guys about, that some people are confused about the launch. We have two different books that have two total different directions of content, but carrying the same message, just different angles of coming from it. So I would encourage you that if you can't buy at least two, then try and buy two. I don't know if it's making sense. If you can't buy two, try and buy two. We've got audiobooks that you're going to hear more about. We've got CDs. You're going to get to hear some of the parts from the media desk when we are on the breaks and stuff like that. But in closing my first session, I am a happy man where I am because you are here. And you as well walking in are here, and that makes me happy. So don't worry about a lot of things. Life is about to get better and better. Thank you.
And better. And better, and better, and better, and better. Thanks so much for that talk. I think we can give Admire another round of applause. I think just for having him up here speaking to us, we have already learned something from every single person, every single speaker, and for what he stands for as Admire Makarichi. So thank you, Admire. You know, I love the way you do things. You're always so meticulous and you're always so assertive. You know, and as I said just now, that you could put anything together, but this is what you have thought about. This was your vision, and this was what you planned, and this is what is playing off for us right now. So I learned from you, although he calls me Uncle Serge, I don't know why. I don't know why he calls me that. But in any case, I didn't ask him to. Ek voel so oud. As I say, Uncle Serge, play. I actually have a fight every time he does that. I said, stop it. But he's going on, it's going on. But in any case, that's Admire for you. But I'm gonna introduce our next speaker, and just as Admire said, we have to have association, and I met this man during PG-13, and PG-13 is a movement that we're running in Kimberley and a couple of places around Kimberley, Johannesburg as well, and I met this man. At that stage he was Cheslin, but now he's Pastor Cheslin Trollop. So he has been busy with a lot of things, not just changing Kimberley, but changing a lot of people in Kimberley through what he does. And I want to give him the accolade today as well for being that, for young, not just for young people, but I believe if people could call him, they would call him Uncle Pastor Ches as well, because he's so young, but then but what he's doing. So I want us to give him a round of applause as well. I want us to give him a round of applause. He's going to be our next speaker, and that's just before lunch. We're going to have our lunch right after Pastor Cheslin Traub is going to speak to us. But let's do this. Let's put our hands together and let's welcome him to the stage. Pastor Cheslin Traub. Thanks, Cheslin.
Good afternoon. Is everybody well this afternoon? Everyone is good. It's so good being with everyone here today. It's a privilege for me to be here and just support my brother Admire. And it's just, yeah, as Sergio just mentioned, I'm privileged to lead a church in Kimberley called Crossover City Church with my beautiful wife and my two beautiful daughters. One is 4 months old and the other one is 2 years old. So one keeps me on my feet and the other one out of my sleep. So that is my schedule, if you want to know. So, and yeah, man, you know, I'm still young, I have a lot of energy, and I just love coming in and just inspiring people, man. You know, I breathe for this, I live for this, I eat for this. This is what God has placed me on this earth for. With that said, me speaking about what God has placed me on this earth for, one of the things I really want to touch on today is purpose, you know, and I'm taking it from that direction that each and every single one of us in this room has a purpose. You are born on purpose for a purpose. And the reason why I say you are born on purpose is because there are over 500,000 different sperm cells when your parents came together one day that were on a race. And as they were on a race, you beat over 500,000 other people that could have been here, and here you find yourself. So that's why I can say you are born on purpose for a purpose. Because surely and truly there is a reason why you are sitting here today. There's a reason why each of us, can we just go together with me? Breathe, inhale, exhale. God just allowed you to have another breath. So this surely means that there is a purpose for you being here today. And one of the things I really realize is that when it comes to purpose, there's what I call the missing link. I'm going to be mentioning three different things for you this afternoon that will basically show you different avenues of this. One of it is that who is your inner circle? Who's your crew? Who's your squad? Who is your community? Ik kan het mensen zal zeggen, visual brasa. You understand? And with that said, who's the people who's around you? Who's the people who really know you? Not the Facebook you. Not the Instagram you. Not the Twitter you. Not the enhanced you when you walk out of the bathroom and all the things are on. But I'm talking about the 4 a.m. you. That you when you wake up and those things are here, the crusties are in your eye. That you when you wake up and they look at you and they say, is this really how you look? I'm talking about that you, that early in the morning. Who knows what you struggle with? Who holds the sit down and shut up card in your life? Everybody in our lives, we have blind spots. We need people to speak into our lives even when we don't need it. And I'm coming from the angle this afternoon where I'm speaking about the fact that each and every single one of us sitting here need mentors. Each and every single one of us need guidance, need people in our lives who can speak to us and who can tell us things when we least want to hear about it. Who can call you and inconvenience you at any time. And the sad thing is that majority of us do not have those people in our lives. One of the things I've really realized when it comes to leading for purpose is many people say, no, I've got my friends, I've got my besties, my BFF. But the problem in this is that most of those people in your life are not there for the purpose that God has called you for. Are not there for the purpose that you are on this earth for. Because majority of people in our lives were supposed to get off long time ago. Because they are in our lives because of time served. And not because of purpose embraced. And what do I mean by time served? No man, we grew up together. We were together since I was 5 years old. But have they helped you reach your purpose? Have they helped you and benefited you on the way? Because we need people who's on the same vision, who's got the same mission, who's got the same perspective in life with us. With this said, we get along with people who love fashion, sports. Well, on the Pirates, Pirate supporter, we are besties. That's what we see. We see all the way. We see people who love the same sports, who love the same fashion sense. But when it comes to a moral compass, the right decisions, and whether or not I stay in a relationship or not, we find that majority of people rather give us information and guidance based on their feelings and not based on their faith. And what am I saying when I mean this? I'm simply trying to bring across that if that friend of yours had to come in and say, you know what, this guy just broke my heart, I feel like going and slashing his tires. Many of us have that friend that will say, where's the knife, let's pick up the knife, let's go right now, let's go. That's what we have. Many of us call them the ride or die. They get emotional very quick. Now, you don't do that to my friend. But one of the things we've really got to realize here is that there's a scripture that says, the Bible is powerful. Just listen to the scripture. Better are cuts from a friend than kisses from an enemy. Hashtag tweet that, Facebook, Instagram it, anywhere. But this is how powerful this is. Because we need people that can come in our lives and actually share with us the truth in love. And that's what I'm saying. The goal for each and every single one of us here is to reach purpose. You reach purpose and what we are called here to do. So one of the things I really realize here is that we've got to understand that community, your circle, the people you associate yourself with is a key ingredient, and it's a missing link in many of our lives. Many of us sitting here, some of us believers, some of us believe different things. You believe that you've got to have a faith with your source many of us here, with God. You need an active relationship. Some of us sitting here, one of the things you also need, number 2, is the fact that you need to recognize what your giftings are and what your callings are. And your gifting is, some of you guys can administrate things like no one else can. You're just good at it. Some of you guys are so good at encouraging other people. Whenever I meet Chris will, you just heard, Chris, how are you doing? Every day is getting better and better. He's always encouraging people. And some of the people have a gift at just doing that. The third thing that I realize is, which I call in the circle of purpose, is the fact that each and every single one of you guys have a calling on your life. That you are here to do something. You are here to do something that sometimes not other people can do. But there is a reason why you are still breathing. The other thing that I realize that is also here is the fact that the missing link, as I mentioned, is community. In order for you to reach your purpose, you need community. You need community. And the reason why I'm saying this is because community is there to enhance us, to make us get better. And it's someone there's another scripture that says in the book of Ecclesiastes that says that if you stand back to back with someone, you can conquer anything. And I quickly want Mark just to quickly come up here and just look at this, because the powerful thing of having someone that's got your back. So Mark, if we can just stand over here, you'll face that way. Yes. So, in the light, sorry Mark. So as myself and Mark is just busy standing right here, and I'm looking at this direction, he's looking there, Mark has got my back. So regardless what attacks and whatever else might come my way, which is trying to distract me or destroy me in whatsoever way, anything I cannot see, Mark's got my back. If someone's gossiping about me, Mark's got my back. He can tell them, no, you don't know him like I know him because I've got his back. If someone tries to do certain things, guess what? Mark's got my back. Why? Because the two of us standing back to back, we can conquer anything. But the difficult thing about many of us, why we do not want people and be associated with people and be in community with people, is the fact that when I stand here, Mark can see what I do not see. So that means that if I'm looking that way and Mark is looking the other way, we are not seeing eye to eye. We only want people on our team or to associate with us that can see eye to eye with us. And that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to association. Because someone who cannot see eye to eye with me is seeing my blind spots. He's seeing when pride steps in. He's seeing when I'm unforgiving. He's seeing when I'm doing certain things that I'm not supposed to, because he's seeing the blind spots I can't see. We don't need to see eye to eye together, because he can tell me when to sit down and when to shut up and when to keep quiet, because he sees things I don't see. That's the power of association. It's not about us seeing eye to eye. Thank you, Mark. Because if we go into life just wanting to see eye to eye with people and people agreeing with us, that means we are just looking for fans, followers, and not true relationships. Ubuntu. I am because you are. How many of us today have these kind of people in our lives? Relationship is of utmost importance. You cannot go through life without relationships. You are not self-made. You are not self-paid. Someone prayed for you to be where you are. Someone paid for you to be where you are. Someone walked with you for you to be where you are. And this is all because of the power of association. Thank you. God bless.
I said I'm going to count for 30 seconds, and I want you to clap, and clap, and clap, and clap, and clap, and clap. And now I know, Pastor Chiz, clapping for such a powerful word that we got. It wasn't just motivational talk, it was a word, I think. I think God laid on your heart to share that with us, because you were a pastor. That's what pastors do. And I thank you for that word of motivation. You know, I know people are not just clapping for that, Pastor Chase. They're not taking anything away from you. I told them there's lunch after you, and I think they're coming for the lunch as well.
So we're really going to have lunch now. We are ready to have lunch, and but what I want to ask you when you come back is, we want people to be challenged a bit, and that is, don't sit where you're sitting now. When you come back, except our distinguished guests, you guys can sit there, it's fine. Yeah, as well. But those, please, don't sit where you are sitting right now. Either try and move a bit forward, or go and sit next to someone that you weren't sitting next to when you came in here. You see, there's a reason behind, or there's a method behind the madness. And it's exactly what all the speakers has been talking about, is that we need to associate. So, have a good lunch, take time and speak to the person that you're sitting to right now, but also know that there's people that you need to speak to, that you didn't speak to when you came in here. And I'm just going to remind you, there's a book table right at the back. The 2 audio CDs, or the audio books, let me say audio books, is 50 Rand for both. If I'm right, Admire? Yeah, 50 Rand for both. But there's prices at the back as well. And then the books, both of them are here. 1 and 2. They are both going for 100 Rand, if I have it right. So please go and check out the back. There's a book table at the back, and then we're going to be serving lunch. The people are ready. I see Marianne nodding head there, so everything is going according to plan. We are a bit early, according to the program, but that's how we run things, man. That's how we run things. You know, there's a new way of running things, and I think the president said it as well. Well, that was one of his opening speeches, that we should stop coming late for events. We have this tendency that thing must start when I arrive. You know, and we must stop coming late because we want to do things on time for the country. And thank you, Admire, for teaching us that today. We are on time, actually 15 minutes early. So, but we're going to still have our lunch, and we're going to end a bit earlier as well, because our last speaker is not here. That's Pastor Quentin Kellerman, is my pastor actually. His father just passed on yesterday. So he's on his way, or he's actually already in Palabora, so our last speaker won't be here. But we are going to have a good time. That's what I can say. We're going to have a good time. I think who has been having a good time so far? Anybody been having, come on, give a better clap than that. If you had a good time, from Tayo moving on to Mark, you know, from Mark moving on to Daryl. Then we had Pastor Ches, and we're going to move on, and there's much more to come. So have your lunch and enjoy. Remember, move a bit forward and sit next to someone that you haven't been sitting next to when you come back. Thank you so much. See you now.